Hello, everybody. It is now the 14th of December, 2019, and it is exactly 12:12. We're bringing in the archangels for a session, channeling session this morning or this afternoon, and this is an opportunity also if you're interested at all in asking any questions or requesting prayers or analysis for where either your personal life is or where things are going or tools that you may be seeking. This is a good time to be asking for those things. But we want to just go ahead and, first of all, what I'm hearing from the archangels is that this is also an opportunity to tune up your own heart. This is an opportunity for clarity, to redefine your purpose, and reintegrate all that is truth and love for you, and in the embodiment of all the complexities and the pluralities of your life. And as you are joining in this conversation, please know that number one ingredient for life as you move forward is to experience that tingling of truth. It could be also like goosebumps. So believe it or not, Archangel Michael wants me to frame the beginning part of this conversation with the idea of goosebumps. And goosebumps are quite interesting phenomena because they can be an indicator of truth or wisdom, either being heard or acknowledged. Like your body sends a direct signal that this is truth. Do you ever feel that sometimes on even the top of your head or around your skull, just tingling feelings, or down your arms, or sometimes, for me, goosebumps will swoop down past my legs, even to the tips of my toes. And this is a time for quantifying all that is good and pure on your planet, Michael's saying. So when one speaks about quantity versus quality, so there is a quality of life that is not so much about gluttony or greed, but has much more to do with keeping a promise for personal atonement or making amends, and then also the other ingredient there is of showing gratitude for the abundance that you might have, even though if you compare and contrast to other people's lives, it may be much less than other people seem to have. But how do you go about even weighing out the difference between what one has over what another one has? Michael's suggesting that It's sort of an impossible scale because the rhythms of life are so different. Even for individuals from the same family, it can be perplexing that one family member always seems to have financially more than enough resources to not only feed their own family, but house their family, get out and go to movies, enjoy some of the pleasures of life. And in this rhythm, there is, of course, need for much conversation or discourse about how to achieve what it is that you do want to have, or alternatively, what it is that you don't want. So, for me right now, for instance, I don't particularly want a lot of complexity, as my life has been one complex step after the other over the last 2 years, and not just a few complexities during the week, but every day, really several times an hour, different complexities coming up. And because I don't drink and I don't smoke and I don't do drugs, and I'm valuing, putting value on most of the minutes of every day that I have here on the earth. There are times where I feel so deeply that it can be almost debilitating, or times where I feel other people's energy patterns so deeply that my empathy knocks me out and I'm just sort of exhausted at the end of even just half a day, not to mention a whole day. And so what I'm learning is how to have a quality of life where I'm actually making choices, joining in principle with those I love, and enjoying the pleasures of life much more so now than I ever did before. So what I'd like to do now is, in the spirit of light and love, is send prayers rather than analysis to anyone around our earth who is feeling precariously on the edge, or who may have passed over very recently. Holding those people in light and in love. And as we enter the holiday season, recognizing that some of you may have lost family members who will not be joining you this holiday season, so we're sending out blessings with the angels to help support and heal those wounds. and just simply saying, letting there be light, letting there be love. And as we're letting those prayers with our archangels circulate around the planet, we're also allowing entry into the space. Archangel Metatron, and then as well Archangel Melchezidek. And Melchizedek is in his greatest angelic form. In himself is a kingdom of light, the range of which is infinite. So now if you have any areas in your physical body, any points of arthritis or inflammation, it's a good time to, in grace, ask permission, to ask for help, to receive healing permanently for all time. Any acceleration of illness in your physical body. Now that is with an understanding that there may be some misrepresentation on what he can do, because it may be that you have offered parts of your suffering in the physical level in order to allow yourself to learn a soul lesson. And so in that case, you want to double check with your inner soul and clear the lesson that's asking to be learned. And you probably know that Carolyn Myss, which is spelled M-Y-S-S, did a lot of work. It's her work as a medical intuitive. So again, just letting there be light, letting there be love, letting the shadows of past regret dissipate or leave. Enjoy the freedom of your expression through the freedom from the physical entanglements, while at the same time being present in your physical body. So you can do both, sort of like being a magician. Melchizedek is asking if you understand that you are each adding to your experience each and every day. And so what it is that you choose fulfills your mission on earth. It may just be that one route is a little bit slower than another, But either way, the dual intent of your heart experience is integration of the soul or the spirit of the who you are in the embodiment of your life experience on this planet. And that is the engine that drives your experience here. So if you're watching an old-fashioned movie, for example, and you're watching somebody drive an old Model T Ford with a stick shift that gets stuck in second or third gear and hits a pothole and the wheel breaks off or breaks loose and the people have to get out and crank up the vehicle, put the wheel back on, get it going again, crank the engine. There's a lot of effort and deliberation in having that vehicle continue its motion forward. Now, on the other hand, if you're driving a brand new Mazda or another car that's already been fixed to the point where there's a transient experience and you don't even think about whether the wheels are inflated or the brakes are going to work, or maybe even if there's gas in the car, that you can kind of float along having a luxury experience. Those are two very different things. Now, in terms of old-time worldviews, it can be much more animated and fun and exciting to tell the story of the wheel falling off, or how you ran out of gas in the middle of nowhere and had to push the car 3 miles to get to the next gas station. Or there's a lot of drama and survival. Look what I survived in those stories. Maybe laughter or humor goes along with that. Or perhaps tragedy. Either way. The other way is to rehearse over and over and over again the building of a modern vehicle to the point that when you sit in the car, the last thing you're wondering is, will I achieve my goal to get from point A to point B? And more so, you may be thinking about what kind of music you want to listen to on the stereo while you glide or drift like a cloud in the direction of your travel. So the comparison here is about modules of practice and perception. And again, this is Melchizedek speaking. And in this understanding, it's not that you are fully responsible for all these choices. Because, of course, as a consumer, if you were out to go purchase a car and all that was available were old Model Ts, then you would sort of be stuck either at home with your pitchfork throwing hay, or putting yourself perhaps in a compromised position to travel. So in a way, you have to wait for the evolution or the consciousness of the market, if marketplace around you, to catch up with a genuine knowing of what's possible. So now, as human consciousness is rising or arising around the planet, you have a gift. Precious time is a gift to not just think about the vehicle that you would like, but to begin to prosper in achieving abundance, to gain access or openness or belief in the parallel models of transportation, the Model T or the brand new Mazda, or any point in between, that you can determine with your efforts and your practice how you would like to travel. And the good news is that when you have good faith, that you can pocket all those experiences, but put your energies now to different productivity or be productive in a different sort of way. And that is by engaging in the circuitry of the heart field where compassion is so abundant. So what we're doing now is just, I'm going to wind down that conversation. If you do have any questions or you'd like to book a session with Melchizedek, please do reach out to me and we'll set up a phone session or a phone chat. And all is well. Just continue to move and motivate yourself towards that higher pristine condition so that more of your life energy can go towards loving compassion, first for yourself and then for others.